I was introduced to a Marvel character. There's one Marvel character that my wife introduced me to, and that was Ms. Marvel. Like the moment they started publishing, Anne picked up the Ms. Marvel books and the graphic stuff, and she brought it home and she read. She really, really likes this character a lot. And then when they announced at D23 that they were doing She-Hulk and Moon Knight and all this other stuff, one of those shows that they mentioned was Ms. Marvel. And I thought, well, that's interesting that they're going to do that. I never really thought they would have done that, but great, let's see how it is. And then they cast a good Canadian girl to be in the lead. So that got me more excited for it. And this morning, the first trailer, it's a couple really interesting things here. The first trailer for Ms. Marvel dropped. And I'm going to tell you this. The first 10 to 15 seconds, I was like, this feels kind of weird. But after the first 10 seconds or so, my brain tuned in and I was watching it, and all of a sudden I was watching through the eyes of, this is more John Hughes 80s film than the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer felt.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This trailer is brilliant. And I was instantly sucked into the style they were going for in it. And I found myself like there's very much a Luke Skywalker-ism to the character, to Kamala in there as well, with her, young girl, responsibilities, looking to the stars and all that. Obviously big obsession with Captain Marvel and all that kind of stuff. And by the way, just let me say, I'm not a huge fan. I know it's a very popular song, this Weekend song. What's it called? Lights or City Lights? Blinded by the Lights or something like that. I know it's a very popular song. I'm not a huge fan of the song. What a perfect song for this. Just the way that the certain notes hit at certain times and all that kind of. Listen, I'll tell you what. I've been curious about this Ms. Marvel show. Curious about it. This trailer, bonkers good. And like so many things that Marvel has been putting out lately, feels completely different from anything else Marvel is doing. And I feel like lately we're saying that about everything Marvel's putting out. Like Eternals, completely different from anything Marvel's ever done. Shang-Chi was very different from anything they've ever done. Talking about now we're talking about Moon Knight. Looks completely different than anything they've ever done. And now I watch this, and again, it's completely unique from anything they've done before. And I went from being curious about this project to being damn near all in. I loved what I saw. Again, this was just a first trailer. We haven't gotten a sense of the story yet. We haven't gotten a sense of, okay, so what's the driving narrative here? Obviously, young girl who's a fangirl, obtains powers, whatever. Okay, yeah, we all know that. But what's the story going to be? Who are those four shadowy figures standing in the mist? What's with those agents going into the bank? Like, there's a lot of stuff there that we don't know, and I'm sure all that stuff will come in a second trailer as we get closer. So I just loved it. Now, before I ask you guys about your thoughts on it, one other thing was absolutely fascinating that is very easy to overlook. This thing starts on June 8th. The reason that is fascinating is because Obi-Wan is a 6-week series that starts on May 25th. That means on June 8th, we are going to get 2 Disney Plus premium shows airing at the same time. Ooh. We're going to have Obi-Wan episode 3 and Ms. Marvel episode 1. I have been critical of Disney that they seem to feel like, well, we can't possibly have 2 premium shows running at the same time. It's not like TV has done it for 50 years. Well, guess what? Here we are. We are going to get 4 weeks of overlap. 4 weeks of overlap of Ms. Marvel and Obi-Wan, and I find that pretty awesome. That's really going to make me look forward to, but then, oh my God, that means Tuesday at midnight is going to be a long night because I'm going to have to watch the Obi-Wan episode and I'm going to have to watch, who knows if they're going to stagger that. So yeah, I love the trailer. I think it's great. And I'm very excited that they're actually going to be running multiple shows on the same days. Anyway, Rob, you had a chance to check out this trailer. What are your impressions of it? This is our first look at this, but also besides, our first look at it, what do you think about the overlapping stuff?
Well, first of all, the overlapping stuff is quite interesting. I mean, to me, it's you're not just giving potential subscribers one show, but 2. two different demographics. I think it's a smart move, and I would expect that we're going to see more of that moving forward with Disney Plus in the future. But as you know, we often talk on the show, John, about how the MCU has looked at different genres of stories, and Winter Soldier was a 70s conspiracy thriller to the point where they even hired Robert Redford, from 3 Days to Condor and All the President's Men to basically be the head of Hydra, essentially. And so to see what is ostensibly a 80s John Hughes movie with superheroes. I mean, we've seen a lot. There's been a lot of Nickelodeon shows and everything from iCarly to whatever. So it's well-trodden ground, but in the MCU, they're going to do their own spin on it. And I've seen a lot of vitriol already about this trailer, and I'm just like, well, what did you expect? You're not going to get like the Batman, but with Kamala Khan. You're not a Kamala. Is it Kamala? You're not going to get that. And this was exactly what I thought that we would get. And I thought the trailer looked delightful. I mean, if I was 16 years old and my sister was 13, she would be eagerly awaiting this a show. I might not be as eager, but I'd probably watch it with her. And I watch this and I'm like, this is delightful. I really would like to see what is even another girl. We know what Spider-Man's perspective is of the MCU. Let's see a superhero female perspective from high school about the MCU. What's it like to live in a world where the Avengers are real? What
part did you like most about that trailer?
You know what I liked? I liked the tone of it.
Yeah.
I like the fact even the graphics, how it it looked like they were drawn in a notebook and they had a comic book vibe, a panel vibe when it first started out. I like that. I mean, it was happy and buoyant, and what's not to love? That's what I thought was fun about it. It's not dark. I didn't feel the world was coming to an end. It put a smile on my face.
Chris?
And you know what? That last shot when she's sitting on top of the lamp.
Oh, yeah. Anne was watching that. She goes, boom, because like I said, Anne loves Ms. Marvel. She goes, that's straight out of the comic book.
Right out of the comics, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, boom. I love that.
Yeah, she enjoyed that a lot. Chris, you sat down and watched this trailer for the first time this morning. Did you like it? What did you like about it? Maybe what didn't you? And what do you think about the fact that they're going to be overlapping the shows now?
I love that. I'm so excited that I get to watch two things in the same streaming service. We talked about that yesterday, too. I just want to watch them all in one place. Thank you for giving me two shows at the same time, Disney. It's all I've wanted. This looks great to me. I really love the use of blinding lights because we've got those bioluminescent superpowers in there. I think that's a fun tie-in. I can't wait to see like her polymorph abilities, too. That is a power I've been really, really excited to see.
We got a little bit of a glimpse of it, just a short glimpse of that. Yeah.
I think this looks great. I love the idea of this being this great coming of age story, that John Hughes idea that y'all were mentioning. I think that's fantastic. And let's just be clear, a coming of age story, regardless of the gender, right, is for everyone. Everyone has gone through these trials and tribulations just in different ways. It's a different perspective on the things we've all gone through. And that's wonderful to watch through the lens of a superhero too, to see how even the most mundane things can be real trials for us.
Yep.
It's so relatable too, that pool party scene. Oh, I was like, girl, been there. I know what that's like. I think this just looks absolutely charming and I'm so excited to watch it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. So that's 3 thumbs up for all of us here. By the way, one of the things I saw on Twitter was like, I saw some people saying, this is just for kids. And I'm like, no, it's not. It reminds me of like, there was some criticism and some firestorm going around because some critics said, well, because Turning Red is about Asian culture, that has nothing to do with me. I'm not. And what they were missing out on was that there was a shared experience in the cultural stuff that they were talking about. And if you really watch it, you realize this is a story about the common human experience we have. It just looks a little bit different. When you get a movie like this or a show like this, in my opinion, at any rate, where it's like this high school student, what they're going through, there are still universal issues being communicated that I think adults still think. Look, adults still look to the stars. Adults still dream of what can be. Adults still think about what they themselves can accomplish and become. Now we're looking at it through the lens of somebody in high school and teenage, because we associate a lot of that. But if you can't see beyond that, if all you see is the high school hallway, then I'm sorry for your lack of imagination and vision. But I think this is now, Ms. Marvel may end up being bad. I may not end up liking the show. But I think if you're so limited in thinking, this is a story about somebody who I'm not, therefore it's not for me, I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
at that point.
It's a different flavor. And if you haven't had that flavor before, why are you going to judge it?
Yeah.
Also, so what if it's for kids? I mean, what does that matter? Like when I was a kid, it's not a very good movie, but I loved Godzilla's Revenge. Godzilla's Revenge was about a bullied Japanese kid. I wasn't bullied as a kid and I wasn't Japanese, but I still love Godzilla's Revenge, even though it's not a very good Godzilla movie, to be honest. I mean, I will watch a story like Just One of the Guys was one of my favorite 80s teen films.
It's great.
Not just because Sherilyn Fenn's in it.
I was going to say, I feel like I know why you enjoyed that movie.
No. But it's legitimately a good
It's really
movie.
good, though, yeah.
You know, that there's second tier teen films that aren't John Hughes. Just One of the Guys was one. Secret Admirer, which was a romance with C. Thomas Howell and Lori Loughlin, another one. I'm not going to not watch them because, this movie's about a girl.
For sure.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick too, like kudos to Sarah Finn, who's always crushing this casting.
Oh my God.
But finding Iman Vellani, this newcomer, she seems great in this role. She seems so just keyed into this part and really comfortable taking on this superhero mantle and everything too. Sarah
You know where I
Finn is
really
just
felt
slaying
it was her in the guidance counselor office.
Yes.
Like that's like that's the moment that I went when she's like talking, so like, what do I have to plan my whole life? I'm like, it was at that moment that I went, she was the right one.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was the right one.
By the way, I mean, I don't think people really give enough credit to her. Yeah. If you look at the casting of all of these movies, it's pretty impeccable. Mm-hmm. And not just the leads.
Oh yeah, the other people that she fills in these roles to help create the world and ground it, which is the whole purpose of those co-star roles and everything, right? Is to kind of imbue this in a real world scenario and flesh out everything. She just nails it. Oh.
Did you guys ever see the Disney movie Sky High?
Yeah.
Yes.
I love Sky High.
Sky High is great.
What was the main guy's name? Not Rampart.
Oh God.
What was? It was Dennis Quaid. No, it wasn't Dennis Quaid.
It was Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell, and he was not the Rampart, or it was something like that. I can't remember the character. Guys in the live chat, help me out. What was Kurt Russell's character's name?
That show? And did you guys ever watch this Video Game High School? Like those sort of like
The Commander.
Those sorts of shows. I'm hoping it's gonna be like those. If this is the way it looks, the trailer wasn't what I was expecting, but I didn't know what I was expecting, to be honest. But but I'll still watch it. It just wasn't. It just didn't turn out to be what I thought it would be. I don't know.
And I think a lot of people are unfamiliar with Ms. Marvel. I mean, because Ms. Marvel is, on top of everything else, Ms. Marvel is also a very new character.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
very, very fresh.
Yep.
Yeah. So for most comic characters who have been around for decades, and
Who
this is different.
coincidentally was also introduced in that same year was the Mr. Knight persona of Moon Knight.
Oh, full circle, Rob.
So
Good
maybe
job.
there'll be a team up.
Oh.
If it starts with the letter M, come on now.
You can do it. Anyway, guys, it's a thumbs up around the table here. What did you guys think of the Ms. Marvel trailer? Was it what you were expecting? Was it something completely different? Maybe you, like a lot of people, you were completely cold going in. And what do you think about the fact that Disney Plus is now showing, we're willing to overlap some shows. We're willing to have multiple premium shows running at the same time. I personally find that very exciting. What do you guys think? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Guys, we want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of this video, Policy Genius. Life insurance can give you peace of mind that if something happens to you, your loved ones would have a financial cushion for rent or mortgage payments, loans, education costs, and everyday expenses. Policy Genius is your one-stop shop to find and buy the insurance that you need. You can click in the description or head to policygenius.com/Campea and answer a few questions. In just a few minutes, you can compare personalized quotes from top companies to find your lowest price. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius, because the team of licensed experts at Policy Genius will help you understand your options and apply for the policy that you choose. The Policy Genius team works for you, not for the insurance companies. You can trust them to offer unbiased help and advocate for you at every step until you're covered. And to make things even better, Policy Genius doesn't add on extra fees, they don't sell your info to third parties, and Policy Genius has thousands of 5-star reviews across Google and Trustpilot. So right now, head to policygenius.com/Campea to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save.